So today is the 27th of January. It's very stormy outside thanks to Queensland's weather. So I thought I'd do the 8x8 before I go for a walk. Now the difference between a 3x3 and an 8x8, the 3x3 has 26 pieces and the 8x8 has 296 pieces. So a lot more moves, a lot more pieces to solve. The world record for a 3x3 is 4 seconds, just under 4 seconds. There's no world record for an 8x8 because it would vary so much. Now this is as big as I want to buy, because once they get bigger there is a 16x16, but it'd be so awkward to move. I mean, this is just big enough so you can maneuver the pieces without being uncomfortable, so that's as big as I'm going to get. Now the 8x8 is obviously an even number cube, which means it doesn't have a centerpiece, which means that you can put any colour on any side, but if you get the wrong colour on the wrong side you can't solve the cube. So white has to be opposite yellow, red must be next to blue, and blue next to orange, orange next to green. So it has to be in that order, else you can't solve the edges. Edges won't line up. They won't solve at all. So, as usual, the first thing we have to do is to mess the cube up. Here we go. Okay, I think it is well and truly mixed up. Now it doesn't matter which side you start with. It's more important to, on an even number cube, to be careful about where you're putting the sides, because if you make a mistake and put it on the wrong side, then you have to start all over again. So I normally start with the white side because there is a little white marker which denotes the white, so we'll use that as a base point. And to solve the white you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6, so it's 36 pieces, white pieces you have to find and get them into that little square. So let's go. And there we have the white square. So that's 6 by 6, that's 36 pieces now solved. So it doesn't matter which side you do next. I always like to do the opposite, which is the yellow side. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we have the yellow side done. So we have the white side, and opposite is the yellow side. So once again, it doesn't matter which side you do next. I'll start with the red. There we have the red square done. So we've got the white, the yellow opposite. Now we've got the red under the white. Now on the right hand side we can either do the blue or the left hand side the orange. So we'll do the blue because there's a few there already done. And once again, we've got to be very careful not to mess up the ones that have all been completed. So whenever you make a turn, a move, then you usually have to compensate by moving it and then moving it back. So and there we have the blue. So all the blue is solved. So we have the white opposite the yellow. We've got the red below the white next to the blue. Now the next two squares are the hardest to solve because there's no room. We have to solve both sides with only using the two sides. We've got to keep swapping them around, so, and we have to not disturb the ones that have been completed. So this one is these are the hardest two to do. So it doesn't matter which one you do first, 6 one half dozen the other.
It's over.
And there we have it. We've got the white opposite the yellow. We've got the red next to the blue, next to the orange, next to the green. So we've got all the squares solved. Now the next job is to solve all the edges. So all the edges have got to be matched up. So that's got to be green red, that's got to be red blue, it's got to be blue orange, blue white, red white, and so on. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 sides to solve. Doesn't matter which side you do first or which edge, you just it doesn't matter. So there's two that are already together, so we'll look for another. The hardest thing is actually finding the colour. So there's two yellow greens together, there's another yellow green there, so we have to get that onto that side and fill them all up. So all the edges are solved except these two. These two have to be flipped. And that's it. We've now turned those two pieces. So now all the edges are solved. So the next step is to get the white square. We've got to completely get that side white. So now we have it all solved except for just the corners. So we've got white orange, white green, white red and white blue. So now we have to get the corner pieces. So red green, white orange green, and red blue. Okay, now we have the white, complete white side. The corners are now correct. So the next job is to do the edges. So we have to get the edges in the right colours. Orange green, orange red, red blue, blue orange, and that's it. So we now have all the sides correct. Here's all the green, all the red, all the blue and all the orange. So the next job is to get the yellow side complete. Okay, now what we have is the green side's complete, the orange side is complete except these 5 red have to go across the other side and those 5 blue have to come over this side. So the orange needs to be over this side, the red has to be over that side and the blue has to be there. And there we have it, all finished. The white side's finished, white opposite yellow, red below the white, next to the blue, next to the orange, next to the green. So it's all complete.